All right, so the second event in the TSC is the pull-up, and this is the event that I feel like there's the most discrepancy in different judging standards. So here's our chance to really clear things up and make it uniform across the globe. So first of all is defining how high we need to get in the pull-up, and it is your jaw line. That is not your chin. So if your chin clears the bar, you're not to your jawline yet. Your jawline is where the bottom of your jaw connects to your neck, or where your chin connects to your neck. Basically right where my beard ends, that has to be above the bar. So I have to have a full entire chin above the bar and cross this jawline. So with that being the standard, I can tell you that one of the best places, or the best place to stand if you're a single judge, is at the height of the bar. So get a box, set your box next to the pull-up bar, and stand up on it so you can clearly see that the competitor's jawline is above the bar. And like I'm going to talk about in the snatch, when we are judging our students, our gym members, maybe even our friends, it becomes very, very difficult to no-rep them in that gray area. But again, as a judge, it has to be black or white. It either meets the standard or it does not meet the standard. My friend Steven was judging me one time in a TSC. He's over there right now. He was judging me in a TSC, and my chin crossed the bar, and I was just too quick is what it was. I wasn't tired. I was still fresh, but I made the repetition too quick. My chin crossed the bar, but not my jawline. I went all the way down. He's like, nope, that one doesn't count, Derek. And you know what? It was a good call, and that's the type of judging that we need to see across the board in the TSC. And you know what? If you make a mistake like that as a competitor, you won't make that mistake a second time, and that's just going to clean up everybody's repetitions and make it all better. Okay? So judge at the top. When they get over the bar, you want to be looking at their jaw line. Then when they get to the bottom, you want to look that their elbows lock out. So make sure that they're not wearing a long sleeve t-shirt like mine. I want to not look at the inside of their arm, because depending on people's size and stature, biceps, if I'm looking at the inside, it may look like their arm is still bent. I want to look at the outside of their arm, make sure their elbow snaps shut, and I see that tricep tighten. Also, when they get to the bottom of the snatch, I want to make sure that their biceps cover their ears, and this is a common mistake seen in the pull-ups. Is when people do pull-ups, they come all the way up, and then they come down, and they stop here. This is an uncompleted rep. Their biceps have to cover their ears. They have to come to this position before they can continue on with their next rep. So it is totally fine to do fast pull-ups, so long as you're not doing your fast pull-ups like this. Those don't count. Okay? Head has to come through between the arms. Elbows have to lock out. Other than that, the judge is also watching for kipping, and this is, we're not going to see some really gymnastic or CrossFit style kips in our competition. We know it's a strict pull-up, so people aren't going to be blatantly doing kipping, but it's the minor kips that make it illegal, and we have to really watch this. So the first thing to look at is the competitor's heels. If they're doing it with straight legs or bent knees, we want to make sure, well, let's start with straight legs. If they're with straight legs, we want to make sure that their heels don't come back before they initiate the pulling motion. If their heels come back before they initiate the pull, they're kipping out of the bottom of the pull-up. If their knees are bent, you want to actually watch their knees, not their heels. Okay, so if my knees are bent, I'm doing pull-ups like this. Kip out of the bottom is when my knees swing back and I get a little bump out of the hole to initiate the movement. That would be considered a kip and an uncounted repetition. The other thing to know is that when we're doing the pull-ups, our knees can come up. That's just the core tightening and creating pressure, allowing us to be stronger, okay? The knees cannot go past 90 degrees, so if they break 90, it's an illegal rep. I'll show it from this angle here. You can see it probably better. If my knees come up above 90 as I'm going over the bar, illegal rep. But what would count as a kip is if the knees are coming up and then they drop suddenly. That would be a kip. So competitor is doing their pull-ups, knees come up and they're getting close to the top of the bar, and then their knees drop like that to get them over the bar. That, my friends, is a kip. I'm sorry. It does not count as a repetition. Now, how about grip? For the flexed arm hang, ladies can go underhand or overhand grip on a flexed arm hang, but they cannot do an underhand or chin-up grip when it comes to pull-ups. When it comes to pull-ups, everybody has to go with an overhand grip. Currently, as the rules sit, we can wrap our thumb around the bar or wrap our thumb over the top of the bar. I believe the rules will be changing soon to where your thumb can be only over the top of the bar, and I think that's great. As a climber, personally, I think that's easier anyway, so if you want my opinion, if your thumb is over the top of the bar, you actually have an extra digit to pull down through, and that makes the pull-up easier. Finally, fast pull-ups. We can do fast pull-ups. There doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out 1-second pause at the bottom. If I see that the competitor's ears are between their arms, their elbows lock off, they're going to be ready to do their next pull, okay? What I just don't want to see is like some kind of rebounding out of the bottom to help them up with their next pull-up. And on that note, a little bit of chest movement or thoracic movement is going to be okay. Sometimes you'll see a competitor anti-shrug, or their shoulders will be up in their ears and then they'll kind of anti-shrug and pull. That's going to be totally fine, obviously, and also you might see a little bit of like thoracic movement with that. That's going to be okay too. So again, when you're looking at kipping, be sure you're watching the heels or the knees, and the knees on the drop. So remember, it's black or white. Be sure to be communicative with your competitor, letting them know whether the rep that they just completed was good or bad and what they need to do to fix it. And let's be uniform with our judging standards on the pull-ups.